Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC viewers say Shannon Beador should have sent Heather Tamra and Tamra Judge home from London trip. Shannon Beador invited her Real Housewives of Orange County co-stars on a trip to London for her 60th birthday celebration, but the first night ended in disaster. The 60-year-old stormed out of a cast dinner when Heather Tamra and Tamra Judge accused her of lying. It was one of the season's most shocking moments, purely because Heather and Tamra thought it was a good idea to come after their so-called friend when they should have supported her. It's becoming a bit of a joke at this point that Tamra will recruit the ladies to pile on Shannon and somehow try to act like she didn't do anything wrong in the aftermath. Tamra is the reason why RHOC Season 18 has been so dark, but we didn't have Heather turning on Shannon on our bingo card. Shannon and Heather have had some raw and emotional moments this season, but their friendship may be over after the events in London. Of course, we still have more episodes of the ladies on the trip, so Heather and Tamra may get back into Shannon's good graces. Bravo shared footage of the ladies on their lavish flight to London, and viewers flocked to the comments section to share their thoughts on the continued drama. Why go on a day trip for someone when all you're going to do is talk crap about them, and then go after them at dinner? Said one RHOC fan. Heather and Tamra should have stayed home. Indeed, it is a choice to go after someone at their birthday dinner. Another fan said that Shannon should have sent Tamra and Heather home. It was your trip, the fan doubled down. There's still plenty of drama to come from the trip, especially if Shannon exposes Alexis Bellino as a liar after some of the ladies question their ongoing beef. Shannon infamously texted Alexis to say that she was not invited on the trip. And John Jansen's latest conquest responded with a meltdown that involved her throwing Katie Janela and Jennifer Pedranti out of her house. The drama has been a complicated web, but we don't expect it to subside soon. The reunion was recently filmed, and while Andy Cohen said there was a period of calm, he hinted that Alexis came in hot during her segment. Amid Alexis' continued backlash this season, there's a good chance she will leave the show. This has to be one of the worst comebacks in Bravo history, but could the current crop of ladies remain intact? The reunion will be the deciding factor. London, a city of historical grandeur, rich culture, and for some Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC fans, the backdrop of what could have been Shannon Beador's most triumphant moment in the ongoing saga of her friendships with Heather Tamra and Tamra Judge. The trio's trip across the pond was meant to be filled with extravagant outings, high-end shopping, and a dash of British sophistication. But as the episodes rolled on, many viewers felt that Shannon had missed a golden opportunity, sending Heather and Tamra packing. Fans have been vocal about their frustrations, taking to social media to express their views on how the entire dynamic shifted during the trip. In their opinion, Shannon could have taken control of her narrative, seized the power in her hands, and demanded that Heather and Tamra board the next flight back to California. As one fan tweeted, "Shannon, girl, you should have sent those two home from London. You don't need that negativity while sipping tea and living your best life." The brewing tensions. The Shannon-Tamra-Heather trio has always been one of the most complex relationships on RHOC, with shifting alliances, deep-seated insecurities, and not-so-subtle jabs. Shannon's vulnerability and loyalty have often been her Achilles heel, especially when pitted against the sharp-toned Tamra and the ice-cool Heather. Over the years, their relationships have been punctuated by betrayals, apologies, and inevitably more drama. By the time the London trip was organized, viewers had already seen Shannon grappling with lingering doubts about her friendships with the other two women. Heather's apparent condescension and Tamra's tendency to stir the pot seemed to follow them wherever they went. Fans, especially those protective of Shannon, believe that this trip was a powder keg waiting to explode. "I can't believe Shannon didn't kick them out when things went south," one fan vented on Reddit. This was her chance to finally set boundaries and say, enough is enough. The turning point, afternoon tea drama. The tipping point for many viewers came during the now infamous afternoon tea scene, where the conversation turned from lighthearted gossip to an all-out interrogation of Shannon's personal life. What began as a glamorous outing turned into a nightmare as Heather and Tamra cornered Shannon, pushing her on issues she wasn't ready to discuss. Heather's elegant, yet biting commentary clashed with Tamra's bluntness, making Shannon visibly uncomfortable. Fans watched in horror as Shannon's attempts to defuse the situation failed, leaving her exposed and emotionally drained. Shannon should have told them to leave right then and there, another Twitter user suggested. "Like you're in London. Don't let these two ruin your vibe." Instead of standing up for herself, Shannon chose to stay in the uncomfortable situation, perhaps out of fear of causing more drama. But viewers saw it differently. They felt Shannon needed to protect herself and reclaim her power in the friendship, even if it meant ending the trip on a sour note. The missed opportunity. For many fans, the London trip represented a turning point that could have been an opportunity for Shannon to rewrite the script of her relationships with Heather and Tamra. The idea of sending them home mid-trip became a rallying cry for viewers who believed Shannon had been too passive for far too long. "I know it sounds extreme, but Shannon should have just sent them home," a fan wrote on a RHOC Facebook group. "Why keep them around if they're just going to drag her down?" Some viewers even went as far as to create elaborate fantasies of how the moment would have played out. In one version, Shannon, dressed in her finest designer outfit, would calmly stand up from the tea table, look Heather and Tamra in the eyes, and say, "This trip is supposed to be fun. If you're going to continue with the negativity, I think it's best if you leave." Cue the dramatic pause, the wide-eyed shock from Heather and Tamra, and the inevitable flurry of protestations. But in the fantasy, Shannon remains composed, finally taking control of the situation and her emotional well-being. The thought of Shannon pulling the rug out from under her frenemies has become a fan-favorite scenario, with some even hoping for a similar confrontation in the future. The fallout. Had Shannon actually sent Heather and Tamra home, the ramifications would have been explosive. Fans speculate that it would have caused a seismic shift in the group dynamics, with Shannon finally stepping out of the shadows of her more domineering co-stars. For too long, Shannon has been perceived as the woman caught in the middle, too afraid to fully confront her issues with Heather and Tamra. Imagine the aftermath if Shannon had sent them packing, one viewer mused on a Bravo discussion board. The whole group would have been shook, and for once, Shannon would have been the one calling the shots. Instead, Shannon chose to ride out the uncomfortable moments in London, resulting in more tension and drama. Some fans feel that this decision only perpetuated the toxic cycle in her friendships with Heather and Tamra, leaving them eager for the moment when Shannon finally breaks free. What's next for Shannon? Well, Shannon didn't seize the London trip as an opportunity to kick Heather and Tamra to the curb. Fans remain hopeful that she'll have her moment in the future. As the season progresses, viewers are keeping their eyes peeled for any sign that Shannon is ready to reclaim her power and set clear boundaries with her friends. If she didn't do it in London, I'm praying she does it before the reunion, one fan tweeted. Shannon needs to stand up for herself and stop letting these women walk all over her. Ultimately, the trip to London may have been a missed opportunity for Shannon to assert herself, but it has ignited a conversation among RHOC fans about what the future holds. Will Shannon finally confront her frenemies and demand the respect she deserves, or will she continue to navigate the murky waters of her friendships, hoping for change without making the bold moves necessary to secure it. Either way, fans are invested in her journey, and they won't stop hoping that Shannon's time to shine is just around the corner, preferably with a one-way ticket for her frenemies when things get too messy.